Hello and welcome to Good Game Spawn Point, the show for younger gamers by gamers. I'm Bajo.
And I'm Hex.
And I am D.A.R.R.E.N.
Darren, what is that?
D.A.R.R.E.N.
Yeah, but what is that?
A pod from Little Big Planet.
Well, what's it doing here in the studio?
It was sent to us by Freako. D.A.R.R.E.N. looks really cute in it, doesn't he?
Well, I think so. Are you going to decorate it with stickers, D.A.R.R.E.N?
Now you're talking to it too. Look, Hex, we shouldn't be encouraging Darren's persona.
I'm going to cover it with stickers, Hex. Do you want to help decorate my pod?
Well, moving right along, what's in today's show, Hex?
Well, since us Aussies can now play Lego Universe, I thought we'd better check it out.
And we take a look at the DS version of the tower defense game, Plants vs. Zombies.
It talked. It said things. It's alive.
Hello, Bajo.
What do you want from me? Plants vs. Zombies has made its way around the platforms now, from iOS to console to PC, so let's see how it shapes up with a stylus on the DS.
Zombies are invading your lawn, and in order to prevent them from eating your brains, you must destroy them with your pea-shooting and cherry-bombing plants before they reach your house. It's all very charming and funny.
Unlike other tower defense games, you aren't rewarded resources for killing the zombies, but you must harvest sunlight from sunflowers and sun shrooms instead, which you can then use to build more plants.
As you progress, you're given new plants to take down new zombies, and there's quite a lot of fun, Hex, in picking which plant to use at the right time. Quite a lot of strategy in there.
Definitely. How you choose to play out the level depends on which plants you choose to take into battle. For example, using snow peas will slow the zombies down, allowing them to take more hits before reaching your plants. But Darren, I noticed that you're quite a fan of the torchwood.
Unfortunately, there's no laser firing plant, so flaming peas is the closest this game gets.
Some additions include the two-player versus mode from the console version. One player controls the plants while the other controls the zombies, and there's just as much strategy here.
Yeah, it's quite well balanced and it can get pretty intense. And I think it's great that the whole game can be played on just one cartridge, although there is a bit of loading time.
There are also lots of mini-games like Zombiequarium and DS exclusives like Heatwave. Whilst they are enjoyable, they were ultimately novelties. I didn't play them more than once.
Yeah, there's not much else new here, is there? Graphically, both the plants and the zombies are quite colourful and cute, but after playing the PC and iOS versions, I definitely noticed a drop in visual quality.
Yeah, I agree. Sprites are not only lower resolution because of the DS's screen, but there are fewer frames in the animations, making for some jerky movements. But even with these compromises, the frame rate still drops when there's a lot going on.
Playing with a stylus is a definite plus, though. It's good for being able to quickly tap and select when it gets really frantic, and I'm so glad they haven't messed with the music. Final thoughts, Badge?
Well, the gameplay is still as addictive as ever, and the versus mode is good fun, but this is also the most visually unimpressive and the most expensive version of this game. So I think if you can get it anywhere else, I'd recommend doing that, but if not, it's still an above average DS game. I'm giving it 6 out of 10 rubber chickens.
I think if you've never played Plants vs. Zombies before, then definitely check this out. And if price is an issue for you, you can actually go on the DSiWare store and get a stripped-down version of it. But hardware limitations aside, I had a great time with this, and I always enjoy slaying pole vaulting and buckethead zombies, so I'm giving it 8 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Ooh, what do vegetarian zombies eat?
Ooh, heads of cabbage?
Ears of corn?
Grains. Grains. Ours were better.
That was pretty good, though.
Yeah, but
that was a good joke.
That was good, but ours was still better. Oh! Bajo here at the Spawn Point News Desk, bringing you news from around the gaming world. The winners have been announced to this year's Dream Build Play competition. The annual award offers independent developers a chance to show off their work as well as winning cash prizes. The puzzle platformer Blocks That Matter won the grand prize worth a cool $40,000, with the Australian-developed Solar 2 taking first place and the $20,000 check. A video game history museum to be built in Sunnyvale, California is one step closer to becoming a reality. The project is being funded by members of the public via the community website Kickstarter, but with only 2 weeks to go, only half of the funds needed had been raised. However, a last-minute rush of support has meant that the target amount of $30,000 has now been reached.
Whoa! You're a real hero? For real?
Noah Solis, the 8-year-old who managed to place in the top 48 of the Evolution Championship Series, one of the world's top fighting game tournaments, has turned pro. Noah has been sponsored by pro gaming team The Travelling Circus. He will be paid to play games and travel around the world to compete in tournaments. Congratulations, Noah. Impressive as this is, Noah is not the youngest ever pro gamer. Victor Lil Poison de Leon was recruited by Major League Gaming at the age of 6. And that's all the news for this week.
So, when the spawnlings are having a problem with some gameplay, they alert me and I try to help. It avoids a lot of lasering.
Do you know everything about games, D.A.R.R.E.N?
Affirmative.
I hope I can grow up to be like you.
With hard work, dedication and a good teacher, you will, D.A.R.R.E. Now, a quick scan of my inbox reveals a lot of spawnlings suffering from a severe case of noobism over Age of Empires Online, like Riley from Tamworth in New South Wales. Dear D.A.R.R.E.N, I watched you talking about Age of Empires Online and have downloaded the game. It's my first go at RTS and I'm a noob. The online manual is rubbish. Can you help? Riley, thank you for your letter. Here's a few tips that should make things a little easier. Tip 1. Villages. The key to success in RTS is establishing and managing a flourishing economy, and key to that are your villages. Villages gather the resources you need to level up your civilization and build an army to defeat your enemies. The more resources you have, the more you can spend. You can never have enough villages and you should never stop making them. Tip 2. Villager management. Unless you are leveling up an age or learning a skill, your town centre should always be producing more villagers. Keep queuing them up, like this. Revisit your town centre often to make sure there are always villagers in the queue. Always set a waypoint by right-clicking the resource you want to send a new villager to. If you don't, they'll dawdle around your town centre like this. Slackers. Send them all to food initially so that you can continue to produce villagers. Then send some to wood so that you can level up to the second age. Then gold, and then stone. Tip 3. Idle villagers. Keep a close eye on the idle villager tile, which is located here at the top of the screen. If the icon appears, click on it and it will take you to the lazy little tucker who's slacking off so you can quickly send them back to work. Tip 4. Storehouses. Time walking is time spent not gathering. Build your storehouses right next to the resources your villagers are collecting so they don't have to walk far to drop them. It's worth rebuilding a wood storehouse closer to the trees as your villagers chop away the forest. Chop, chop, chop. When you can afford them, it's well worth getting the storehouse upgrades. These make your villagers gather resources faster. Tip 5. Population cap. If you reach your population cap, all villager and military production will stop. When you're getting close to reaching the cap, set a villager onto building some houses. Once you reach age 3, you can also build a second town centre. This adds 20 to your population, but also means you can pump out twice as many wonderful villagers. Oh, look at them go. Oh. Well, Riley, I hope that gives you a few tips to getting a great economy underway in Age of Empires Online. Remember, spawnlings, D.A.R.R.E.N is here to help, so if you're suffering from noobitis, you can seek the cure here.
You're the best, D.A.R.R.E.N.
Thanks.
Okay, what's the song? What's the song? You know what it is?
Oh, I've got it. Jurassic Park.
That's right. I played that in trumpet in primary school.
Really?
Yep.
You still remember that? That's amazing. All right, we should probably answer some questions. First up this week is from Candy Flossie 103 in Otaku Town, South Australia.
There's dinosaurs there.
Dear Bajo and Hex, I was wondering if you review games from overseas, because I know there is this game in Japan that is related to a TV show that I watch, but it really sucks because I can't get it. Please answer. P.S. The game I want is Vampire Knight DS. Well, Candy Flossie 103, we don't review games from overseas. I mean, it wouldn't be very helpful for us to review a game that you can't actually get, or get easily anyway.
And even though the Japanese version of that game would probably work on our DS, it would be all in Japanese with no English translation. We'd have no idea what was going on.
We'll keep everything crossed that the game gets a local release. Right, Well, onto this one from Don't Say Noob in Trollsville, Victoria.
I could learn Japanese.
Really?
Yeah, but then I'd have to delete English.
I still have my one line that I remember about the opening the doors.
How's that go?
Ichibansen doama shimahimasu. Go chui kudasai.
I'll just go open. Okay, I have gotten sick and tired of people that watch Spawn Point misusing the word noob. I think it is your fault. You excessively use the word, and it sets a bad example. Real gamers don't use the word noob every 5 seconds, especially in everyday talk. Another thing that annoys me is that people that write at the end of their question to you, answer or I will become a noob. If you say that, you already are one. I don't care if you put this on the show, but please, for the sake of gaming, address this issue. Thank you. Well, noob is a powerful word, Hex. Perhaps we do use it too much, and perhaps we should cut back on it. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea. Problem solved.
Okay, well, moving on to this one from Roy in Sydney, New South Wales.
Please answer this. I've been asking forever. Why is Mario better than Luigi? Please answer or I will become a noob. P.S. Bajo, you're awesome. Hex, you're also awesome. And D.A.R.R.E.N is a noob.
D.A.R.R.E.N is a total noob. In fact, in the dictionary next to the word noob, there's a picture of D.A.R.R.E.N saying, what a mad noob. In fact, when the word noob was created with D.A.R.R.E.N in mind. The elders of the noob central, the council of noobs got together.
Bajo, we said we weren't going to say that word.
But we're talking about D.A.R.R.E.N. Surely we have to call D.A.R.R.E.N a noob.
Well, no, not really. I mean, don't say that word. Thought that we shouldn't say it at all, so we should probably not say it ever.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, no. I think he's been watching, you know who that is.
Oh, it's probably D.A.R.R.E.N, you should answer it.
Should I answer it though? Okay. Hello, Bajo speaking. Hi, D.A.R.R.E.N. Yeah, I know. I promise I will stop calling you a massive noob even though you are a massive noob, I promise. Okay, cool, I've got to go. No, what? He's gone. What a noob.
Bajo! All right, well, back to your question, Roy. The reason why Mario is better than Luigi comes down to a few things. Firstly, Mario was here first. He first appeared in Donkey Kong in 1981. Luigi didn't appear until 2 years later in Mario Brothers. Mario has since gone on to star in over 200 games, whilst Luigi has only been in about 40. Luigi is Mario's sidekick, really. It's like asking why Batman is better than Robin.
What a silly question. Of course Batman's better than Robin. Batman's the best and he's totally awesome at everything he does, and Robin is just a Batman.
Okay, Bajo, I think it was a rhetorical question. You're not meant to actually answer it.
It needs an answering.
We should just move on to this one from Solomon in Adelaide, South Australia.
For a start, Batman has a better colour scheme and Robin is just whines and complains all the time. Yeah, quiet, Robin. Batman's talking. Hi, Good Game SP. I just got Test Drive Unlimited 2 and Midnight Club Los Angeles. I was wondering if you know any other games in a real city that have free drive. Please answer. P.S. Hex, you are total awesomeness. Bajo, you are too.
Well, Solomon, there's actually not many open world races set in real places. But we reviewed Driver San Francisco recently, and that's quite good arcade racing fun. And of course, it has the free drive mode, and it's set in San Francisco.
Yes, and the earlier versions of Midnight Club and Test Drive also have open world racing in real places. But since you've got the latest of those, I'd probably just stick with them.
Well, moving on to this one from Flynn in Sydney, New South Wales. Hi guys, I was wondering if you could tell me any cool fighter pilot games for the Xbox 360 that can be G or PG and are pretty fun and just awesome to play. P.S. D.A.R.R.E.N is the most awesome robot ever. P.P.S. Please respond or I will never be an awesome gamer. Well, you're in luck, Flynn, as there are some decent options out there. I'd say both of Tom Clancy's Hawks games are quite good with lots of explosive fighter action. We liked the first Hawks game the most because you could issue voice commands to order your wingmen to attack.
Also, I'd highly recommend Ace Combat Fires of Liberation, and I actually prefer it over Hawks as it feels a bit more realistic and it's just more fun. Also, the latest Ace Combat game is coming out next month and it's looking like it'll be pretty action-packed. Let's hope so, Hex.
Yeah. Well, we've got time for one more, so let's move on to this one from Dust Fan in Wildfires, Queensland. Hi, Good Game SP. I was wondering about how to complete Wildfires from Dust. Please, 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 please help.
Well, we won't do a full walkthrough like we did the other week, but there's a very simple tip that can really help you out on this level. Just remove strips of dirt in a few areas between your villages and the fire plants so that there's a gap where no vegetation can grow. This basically creates a fire break, which will stop the fire spreading.
And once you do that, it's pretty easy going from there. But that's it for this week's Spawnlings. And where do those questions go, Badge?
Over there. I mean here.
Just there.
Hey Darren, look, we've got lasers just like yours.
Hardly.
Yeah, right, it's just a game disc, but Goose has been off on another one of his investigations, finding out just how a game gets loaded onto a bit of plastic like this.
You want lasers? I'll give you lasers. Charging my laser.
Quick, let's deflect!
Game disc and deflections!
Oh. Foiled again.
These days, games are bundled up and crammed into these tiny little pieces of plastic, and I've been wondering, where do they come from?
G'day, Brad. Hi, Goose. I hope you're ready to see how a disc gets made.
Let's do it.
Let's suit up.
So, Brad, we're here on the factory floor. Can you tell me from start to finish, how is a disc actually made?
Okay, these discs are actually made from this polycarbonate substance in a granular form. So in the injection moulding process, we end up with a clear disc like this. All of the information is already on this disc, but our PS3 consoles can't read that. So what we do is we go to the next step in the process and put a reflective layer on the disc. Now what happens when you put that into your console? The laser can read and reflect, and the brain or the processor can turn it into information.
So what's the next step after that?
From there, we protect the disc with a couple of layers of resin. And this stops grubby fingerprints, and we can clean that off really easily. The finished disc is complete. It's ready for printing. It'll have the label on it for packaging to send out to our stores.
Great, let's go have a look at how they're printed. Making discs actually happens very quickly, and this factory outputs 80,000 Blu-ray discs a day.
Okay, Goose, this is where the discs get printed. The label's supplied, and we print to know what game it is.
To make sure the games you buy actually work, every 1 in 600 discs is tested right here. Part of the reason games are on discs now is because of storage size. The original Donkey Kong, released in 1981, was 163 kilobytes, and a Blu-ray disc has 25 gigabytes of space. So, if you do the math, Donkey Kong could fit onto a Blu-ray disc 161,000 times.
Okay, Goose, this is the final process. The disc and the booklet gets put into a case, it gets wrapped, it gets boxed, and it gets sent to store.
So, well, thanks for showing us how it all works, Brad.
No problem.
If you're a long-time viewer, then you'll know we've been a little bit miffed at the makers of LEGO Universe for deciding not to let Aussies play their game.
But now the game has been made free to play, which means we can have a play.
But before we get stuck into the review, there is still some bad news.
Affirmative. Aussies still can't upgrade to premium membership, so we only get the free-to-play part. But we thought it was still worth looking at.
The story goes like this. A group of space explorers set off to find the essence of imagination. They soon find it, but the Baron goes a bit evil and creates a giant scary spider with the imagination. The spider then decides to suck the Baron into the imagination, which winds up creating a new dark force known as the Maelstrom, which corrupts the fine LEGO folk into stromlings.
You know what I love, Hex? They've got Patrick Stewart from X-Men and Star Trek fame to narrate the tutorials and the story. He makes every game better.
Try moving forward as you jump. Bravo!
Anyway, the remaining explorers then split up into factions to protect what's left of the imagination.
Each faction has a different strength. For example, the Assembly are good builders, while the Sentinels are better at combat.
But before you get too excited, to be able to join a faction, you need to have a premium account, which means none of us Aussies can even do that.
Yeah, some free-to-play games let you play through most of the content, but then give you a whole bunch of extra stuff if you pay up. But not this one. After about 2 hours or so, you're ready to leave the starter area and are given a quest to go to Nimbus Station. But you need to be a premium member to get there. It's our destiny to meander around the starter area forever, Bajo.
Looks like it, Hex. Like all good RPGs, you start by creating your character and choosing a name. But once again, because we don't have access to the premium version of the game, we have to choose one of their suggestions, and it's just not the same. Fancy that, not being able to choose my own name on an online RPG, it's a tragedy.
Then after a quick tutorial, you're off to begin your adventure. And it's what you'd expect a LEGO MMO to be. You'll be fetching 10 of these bricks or smashing 15 of those enemies. You level up as you go and find better gear for your character.
The combat is more action-based than most MMOs. You'll never click on an enemy to attack or queue up special abilities. You just attack and whatever is in front of you will get hit. You also have a single special ability based on your gear. For example, our shield could create a temporary protective bubble. It doesn't make for a very deep combat system, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I agree. There is a lot of classic LEGO gameplay in there too, though. You run around breaking parts of the world for goodies, and when you take down an enemy, they explode into bricks and loot for you to pick up. Also, you have a limited amount of imagination which you'll need to use to build parts of the world. Although you rarely need to worry about running out, as everything you smash has some imagination orbs in it.
It's a pretty safe and friendly world to be in too. There's no player versus player, so you're not going to get greased by anyone just attacking you for no reason. There are a few mini games and some races you can take part in, but once again, we actually can't take part in most of them because they're locked to the premium account.
I was getting a bit bored with the game until you're given your own property where you're free to build just about anything you can imagine. You have pre-built models you can place, or you can build something brick by brick.
You do need to collect the bricks on your adventures though, so you'll need to play for a little while before you have enough bricks to build anything worthwhile.
And you can share your creations online, as well as go and look at other people's property to see what they've built. I gotta say though, Hex, I got a little bored with this game too, and I think it is just because we're stuck in that starting area. Maybe if we had the other version, we could get more bricks and explore more, but here I didn't want to grind that little zone just to get more bricks. It may be free to play, but compared to the creative building you can do in something like Terraria or Minecraft, this one just doesn't really cut the mustard. So, final thoughts, Hex?
Well, I think it all works well enough, but you're just not given enough time or content to really connect with the story or create a character that you actually care about. I was kind of left feeling like there was a party going on and I just wasn't invited, so I'm giving this a 4.
I'm giving it 3.5, and 3 of those are for Patrick Stewart. I was bored too, Hex. You could say I wasn't engaged.
I have completed my calculations and have discovered that there are enough Lego bricks on Earth to reach the moon.
Oh, how many would it take, Darren?
Well, given a Lego brick is 0.009 metres tall and the distance to the moon is 384 million metres, it would take a stack of approximately 390 billion bricks to reach it. The Earth's supply of 400 billion would be more than sufficient.
My life is all the richer for knowing that, Darren. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have you been to the moon, Darren?
Many times.
Yeah? What's it like up there?
I'm worshipped as a god.
Really? By who?
The Moon Men.
The Moon Men? What are they like?
They look like you, but they're smarter. Oh, very good, D.A.R.R.E.N. Now let's swap over to this one and see if we can get that. There you go. Well done.
Hey, Darren, any chance that we could have a go?
Negative.
What? Is that Skylanders?
Affirmative. I have been sent an early version of the game for my expert opinion.
Well, that's awesome. Is it any good?
Initial impressions are that the game is sound. While it's aimed at younger sportlings, I have found
Oh, Darren, we're out of time for this week, but we shall return next week with a look at the city builder Tropico 4. Oh, what a shame.
Well, that should satisfy our city building appetites.
I hope so, Hex. We're also going to check out the new online Pokemon card game.
Till next time, Spawnlings, may all your games be good ones. Hex out.
Bajo out.
Darren out.
All right, I've got to have a go of this game.
Yeah, me too.
Tips on Spyro.
All right, give me a go, Darren.
There you go.
We do it.
Which one's your favourite, Hex?
Ooh, I love Spyro because I love dragons. And look, fireballs. Woo! All right, well, you can have a go now. Which character do you want to be?
Eruptor.
All right. There he goes. Oh.
Eruptor! I blew up.